Hey there, it's Daven Michaels, and today I'm coming to you from my Vegas home, and this is where we actually hold the Mastery Retreats, and I want to introduce you to a great friend of mine. This is Don Baker. Don, thanks for taking a few minutes.
Pleasure.
Yep.
Good to see you again.
Absolutely. And Don, this will actually be your third mastery, or your third mastermind with us, basically. The last two were at the Hollywood Hills house, so it'll be cool to have you here in Vegas.
Yes.
And so I look forward to having you here. And I thought it'd be cool. Usually I'll ask our members to talk about sort of the virtues of masterminding, the benefits of masterminding, and the value that comes from being in a collective of like-minded people that are super successful. But today I want to take a little bit different approach. And I just want to talk a little bit about you, because if you're watching this, you may be thinking, what kind of people am I going to meet at the Mastery Retreats? And so I thought it'd be great to have somebody of your caliber, sort of chat for a few. And we're actually here today working on your next offering, your next program, which I'm super excited about. And I'm not going to tell people about it because we don't want to get the word out there. We'll kind of keep it under hat for a little bit. Yeah. But Don, I would love it if you kind of share with everyone what you've done over the last decade in direct response, and we're going to talk. We have all types of people in Mastery Retreats, and quite many of them are authors, speakers, info marketers. You're in a slightly different direction, and that's direct marketing. So I'll just say one thing, and that is over the last decade, you've probably generated over $1 billion in sales. Yeah.
This is very true, and I've done that with over 500 television campaigns. And you're right, Daven, this is a very incredible opportunity to talk to your audience, and I appreciate it very much. Mm-hmm. And direct marketing, as you know, has grown dramatically over the last, 30 years. And direct marketing today, specifically with DRTV marketing, is something that is I have a long history in. And having done over 500 television campaigns, some very successful ones, knock on some wood here. And, including a lot of entertainment campaigns like Cops Too Hot for TV. Yeah. Jerry Springer, which was a wild campaign. And
I'm going to interrupt you a lot. If you know me personally, I'm a naturally inquisitive person. I ask a lot of questions. So can you share with everyone the Jerry Springer campaign? Because I just think it's absolutely fascinating.
Yes. It was a fascinating campaign. It was his outtakes and bloopers.
Yeah, so at the time, Jerry Springer wasn't even national yet, right?
He was, he had a nationally syndicated show, but it was... he had 3 million viewers. This was in 1997. Jerry Springer was relatively new at that time. Yeah. He had 3 million nightly viewers, and when we started that campaign I still remember the date, September 29th of 1997, he had 3 million viewers. We ended up selling $78 million worth of product on TV, creating a 1 million customer database who bought his outtakes, bloopers. It was his food fights and behind the scenes.
They were awesome.
Hair pulling. You and I may do that later.
Yeah, there you go. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. But what was incredible was at the time they were just getting it going. You and your partner at the time, you approached the Jerry Springer camp and you said, hey, we want to take these outtakes that were too racy for television.
That's right.
We want to put them on VHS. It was VHS at the time.
It was VHS.
And we want to sell them at late night. And if I recall, you guys offered like $1 a unit or something like that to them. And his business manager said, no way, you have to do a buyout, right?
Exactly. Jerry didn't want to do the back end. He got some money up front, of course, but he didn't want to do the back end. Yeah. He said, hey, nobody is going to buy this stuff. Right. Well, $78 million later, he ended up replacing some of his management team. Yeah. And
he fired his business manager after you guys generated $78 million, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
But obviously his benefit. He, of course, made money up front. He didn't make money on the back end. Yeah. But what he did was his franchise increased. When we started in 1997, his ratings were 3.1, which means 3 million viewers a night watched his show. Well, by February sweeps, 5 months later, his ratings had increased to 8.3. Yeah. So they've gone from 3 million viewers to 8 million viewers. And the ultimate irony was one of the advertising vehicles I was buying was a 1-minute commercial inside his nightly show. Mm-hmm. That cost me in 97, in September, it cost me $14,000. By February sweeps, that price had gone up to $40,000, and I could no longer afford it.
You priced yourself out of it.
Exactly.
And I remember seeing that because at the time I had a girlfriend that liked to watch that show. And I remember your commercial would pop on and it totally looked like it was Jerry's commercial, but it was really your commercial.
It was, exactly.
Yeah.
It was cut right in, and it was all, a lot of food fights and hair pulling. It was very controversial at the time.
It was.
Now it seems
now it's normal because things are just getting more and more racy. We get desensitized, and it's a totally different world. Now, what was fascinating is, so what happened was you were doing a direct mail campaign, a direct response campaign, and that really launched Jerry's career. I mean, he had a career, but it took him into a whole nother level. And that kind of seems like an anomaly, but that's actually not, especially these days, but even back then to a certain extent, because let's talk about how you launched Susie Orman 70 million in 30 days, right?
That's right. And the reason, if we can stay on Springer just for one second, is because we were clearing 5,000 TV commercials a week around the country. Now, those 5,000 TV commercials were airing inside the History Channel, were airing inside the Food Network. I guess that's good for food fights. Yeah. So people who had never seen Jerry Springer before, not only did they buy the product, but they also went and sampled the show.
Yes.
That's why the ratings went from 3 million to 8 million viewers. And what you're talking about, the power of television as a support vehicle to drive retail sales is very, very important. And anybody who has product out there who wants to launch in retail, television is the groundwork for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us briefly how Susie got started. So she wasn't very big at the time when you started working with her, and what happened?
That's right. Well, obviously we ended up taking her to mass market, developing a whole campaign around her books and her presentation, and it did the same thing. I mean, it just took off and built her into a franchise, which she, still to this day is still doing business in those areas.
Yeah, absolutely, she completely leveraged that. Yeah,
this is very true.
Unbelievable. And over the years, the whole landscape of direct marketing has changed dramatically, and especially DRTV, which is your space.
True.
And because now today there are so many channels for advertising, right? I mean, back in the day, it was a much smaller, controllable world. Now it's so broad. So the whole model has changed. Now, really, it's all about running a campaign, driving awareness, and using that, like you said, to push retail sales.
You're exactly right. Now, what you can do, of course, a good product will make money on the upfront.
Sure.
But what you really want to do with DRTV and television marketing in particular, web marketing kind of bleeds into this, but it's building the franchise, building the knowledge of the product. And what that ends up doing is that ends up driving your customer into retail, because this is a fact, only 1 out of 10 people who want your product. If this is your product and you make a TV commercial about this product, only 1 out of 10 people who want it, only 1 will pick up the phone or go to the web and buy it. The other 9 want to go into the store. They want to know where to return it. They want to feel it, see how heavy it is, see what it looks like and feels like. So by doing that successful, even if it's break even, or maybe even you lose a little bit of money on DRTV, on your commercial, you're driving the brand. You're driving consumer response into the retail store. And that's what direct marketing has become.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to share with you, if you're thinking about joining the Mastery Retreats and you're thinking about the different benefits and the people that you'll meet and so on and so forth, what I want to share is that most people, when they want to take something, like you may be watching and you may have a product or service or an idea or a concept that you want to move on to another level, maybe direct television, direct TV marketing. And most of the people I know out there, it really costs about $100,000 to develop something and take it to market, minimum. What's amazing is I've seen you over the years, you've been able to sort of bootstrap it. You can do a good test for about $15K. Now that's the real tight test. We know that a broader test is usually about $30,000. But something that we're working on right now, today here, and we're not going to give everything away, but what we're working on is a way to have your audience actually raise their hand and pay for your testing.
You are right, and we
Yes.
can't
No, we're not
say
gonna get
too
into it.
much about
Yes,
it, but,
exactly.
but it's an incredible, the newest distribution channel, the new DRTV.
Yeah, exactly. And I haven't seen anybody doing quite this concept that you're going to be doing, and I'm really excited about it. And my question for you, though, will you share it 100% and openly at the retreat with our members?
Absolutely. That's why we're here today, to develop put everything down on paper, and
The
that's what
blueprint.
we want to do. We
Yeah.
want to lay the blueprint for
Yeah.
this, because it's a very exciting opportunity. It's going to allow people to launch products in ways that they never thought, they never dreamed before.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that everybody has a product, everybody has an idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure your audience is full of them.
Yeah.
I run across good ideas all the time, but people say, how do I take it to the market?
Yeah.
You know, how can I afford this? Well, we're going to show you how to do that, because this is a revolutionary opportunity. It's the newest distribution channel, and it's the hottest and the least expensive way to market a product.
Yeah, and what's so great is the profile of the Mastery Retreat members is they're movers and shakers. They've got things going on. They have lists. They
know
have
what they're doing.
resources. They know what they're doing exactly. And so they can, once they're armed with this knowledge and the resources that we bring to the table, they can kind of take that focus and kind of open up a new channel. And that's huge, because at the end of the day, you're coming to the Mastery Retreats for the great experience, for the camaraderie, for the brotherhood, the sisterhood, to hang out with like-minded people that are really moving and shaking. But hey, there has to be ROI as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Why not? Look, my rule, I have two rules: make money and have fun.
That's right.
So why not do them together?
That is perfect, and that's exactly what we do. So if you're thinking about joining the Mastery Retreat, we encourage you to look more into it. It's an awesome group of individuals, a fine group of individuals. If you're the type of person that really comes from an abundance mentality, where you're willing to give 1,000%, and you know that when you give 1,000%, you get it all back, then this is probably the place for you if you're a happening successful person. So we look forward to working with you. Don, I thank you for taking some time out.
It's a pleasure to see you again and talking to your audience. I always love meeting interesting people, entrepreneurs. They always give me fantastic ideas that I can get excited about. So I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, me too. So until next time, we'll hopefully see you soon at the Mastery Retreats. This is Daven Michaels with Don Baker. Live your true life adventure. See you later.